What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us this evening. This is the O'HalloRANT. I am your host, Brian C. O'HalloRANT. Check it above there. Good to see Mr. Chris Hewitt is joining us. Mr. Scott Huberman from 3 Alarm Comics. Good to see you. Happy Friday, sir. Alan LeGros from the great Canadian North. Good to see you as well. Gem Girl 1975. Good evening to you. Jonathan Triuba. Good to see you, sir. Mike Braddock, Zegra 71, Blasted Quinn 1998, Danger Girl AC. Happy Friday, Mad Brothers Media. Good to see you guys as well. Not Chasing Amy, good to see you as well. Tim Daddio, yay. Yes, it is Friday. Friday, finally. For those working an actual regular job, first of all, you're lucky to actually have a regular job. You're actually working, since a lot of the still 6 million, I believe, are still unemployed from the pandemic. Hopefully all recovering soon. The weather is warming up, which is great up here in the Northeast. I know Florida, California, you guys have somewhat the perfect weather. We all get it. Don't rub it in. But also, things are happening. More people are getting their vaccine. That's great. More things are opening up. That's great. Disney Land out in California, I believe, and Florida opened up at a percentage of capacity where people were actually crying that the park has now opened up. Danger Girl AC, I'm surprised you weren't down there or over in the California Disney Land to see that opening. I know you're a big Disney fan. It's also good to see that football and the draft is happening. Now, look, I'm a New York Jet fan. I've talked about this before on the show. My level of expectations from them is like there, like down here. Yeah, it's out of frame. That's how low my expectations are. But we shall see what happens. We drafted ourselves a quarterback, a guard, and a wide receiver. Nice. It's kind of what we've been needing for a while. And it sounds like Cassie, one of my cats, wants to heckle me. I know, they do suck. What do you want me to do? I know, Cassie. That's all that, that we can do. Well, we'll just see how it goes. But thank you for chiming in. That was one of our cats, Cassie's, chiming in. So we shall see how the Jets work these drafts in. We have, I think, 6 more choices in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds. So we'll see what happens. So there's that. The Mets, for all that they've done in the offseason, are not doing well either. They're losing, I think, to the Phillies right now, last I checked. So there's your sports report. Rangers, my hockey team, it's a nail biter. I literally think it's gonna come down to like the last 3 games. They lost a tough game last night to the Islanders. Tomorrow they play the Islanders again in Long Island, and then the Capitals, and then the final 2 with Boston, and it's Boston who's right above them in the playoff picture. So we shall see. It should be a nail biter for those interested in that. In other news, my thoughts go out to the people out in India. They're having a massive 2nd, 3rd wave of COVID out there, and their health programs are just not equipped to handle the amount of people who are getting infected in India. So my thoughts are with the Indian people, the Indian government. For those who are watching, who are of Indian descent, who may have relatives over there, my thoughts are with your family and your relatives. It's a horrible thing to be held captive to, is when you can't get the proper medical attention when you need it. So I think that's my wrap up of the general news out there. Now, just things that annoyed me this weekend, just because, or this week, just because it happened quite a few times, is getting a lot of telemarketing calls. And listen, if you're watching from some, I don't know, hacked satellite in some countries, speaking of India, funny enough, you know, I don't need to renew my car's warranty. Sorry. Don't need to. Don't need to talk to you about my credit card rates and how you can save me money. Don't need you to call me about my electric bill and how we can save you money. You know how you can save me money on my electric bill? Make winter shorter. Then you could save money on my electric bill. But you don't have the power to make winter shorter. If anything, that stupid rodent, Punxsutawney Phil, gave us 6 more weeks of winter. And truly, it felt like 6 more months of winter, the way we had a winter up here in the Northeast. I don't need to hear about this great deal on a roof. That was the other thing. Like, for many, many years, I was renting an apartment, and to be like, how would you like to have your windows replaced? Buddy, how would you like to have a real phone book that actually tells you you're calling an apartment building? Stop. Hi, can we speak to the owner of the house? Well, you're going to have to hang up and keep calling because it ain't me. Stop it. Don't need it. Don't need the calls, man. And that whole do not call list, that's a joke. Total joke. Let's forget about being able to make your call, private, where you don't, you can *67 before dialing the number and it shows up unregistered number or unrestricted number or whatever. Just make it to where it used to be, where you could see everybody coming in, or it should be that. It shouldn't be, I shouldn't have to pay extra to find out that, but hackers, they have that spoof technology where they'll spoof your friend's number and it's like, oh, it's Frank calling me. And it's like, hello, it is not Frank. How are you? I'm like, what? Would you like to talk about your car insurance? No, I don't. Have I ever been called from my own number and yet it's a telemarketer? Yes, Scott, I have. Where it felt like I was, in the movie Scream, where the call was coming from within the house. I'm like, is there a telemarketer in my house? Cassie, get in. Meow. Useless. That would be fun, just to put my cat on the phone. Come on. But cats that's the funny thing about cats. Cats do not just meow on command. They're not like dogs. Like, dogs are cool in that sense. Like, bark, bark. Come on. Like, you can have a treat and be like, what? Come on, Emily, bark. And they'll bark, but not cats. They're like, yo, you ain't the master of me. You ain't barely the master of your own self. Never mind me. So I have, though, taken that moment where I'm just like, yes, please tell me more about what can go wrong with my car. Or the best ones are the, we believe you have a virus. We are from Windows, Microsoft Windows, and we believe you have a virus. Now, could you go to your computer and go to this, type in this code or whatever stuff? And I'm like, okay, and then what? Oh, really? Oh, I hate when that happens. And they tell you, oh, I believe you've been hacked, and you need to send this code to this address and blah, blah, blah. Now, for the service fee for us to help you. And one time I just made myself like a really old person, like, what? What are you talking about? Computer? I don't have a computer. How are you in my house? How do you know who I am? What windows? My windows are fine, sir. Virus? No, sir. I take my vitamins and I get my flu shot. You must have me confused with someone else. I'm not Captain Kirk. I don't have a computer. One time I had a guy, I was like, I was leading him on like, oh, okay. And then finally I'm like, but what about the FBI? Shouldn't I be telling the FBI about this call? I mean, because you are breaking the law, don't you? And I went on and I got him to the point of where like, is this really what you want to do with your life? Is this what your mother is expecting you to come home and say, had a great day at work, mom, got to scam 14 people out of $500? Or, is this what's going to get you to heaven or wherever you go and think that you're going to be welcomed in? You need to change your life, sir. Like I went on this big kind of like, you're doing wrong and you must repent kind of thing. I think I heard the guy sniffling like he was crying. I think. Obviously, I'm not there. I don't know. Yes, the IRS ones. Yes. The ones that they're saying, yeah, that there's a warrant out for your arrest. And because you owe money, that's always a fun one. The one that a lot of people are getting are their grandmother. Their grandmother gets called saying that the grandson or granddaughter is being, held hostage, or they got crazy during spring break and the police need that one to be bailed out. So if you could, we'll put you in touch with our bail officer and they'll take your credit card number and we'll be able to process the bail. The new one now is they're calling you for a survey about how your vaccine shot went. And somehow they get pertinent information out of you, either your Medicaid, Medicare card, or your health insurance card, or whatever type of information. But that's the new one. The new one is, hey, how did you like your shot? And, give us all this information. And some people are falling for it. Anybody who calls me on the phone asking for money, or like weird information, I'm like, yeah, no, you're going to have to, if you have that information, you also have my mailing address, then just mail it to me. And then that way I can get back to you on that. And we'll go from there. An overseas scam call center makes over $500,000 a month. Wow. Sometimes I think I'm in the wrong business. I had a customer of mine wire $5,000 to a scammer like that because she was scared that she was scared from that scammer call. It was so bad. Yeah, sometimes they can be very, they'll scope out if your Facebook page especially is open to the public and they see family members and friends and stuff. They have more information to make them sound more legit. Like they'll be like, we just talked to Bob so-and-so, Bob so-and-so down in such and such street. And he recommended that you might have been interested in this and blah, blah, blah. And it's just pretty much all the information. We're putting it out on the internet. So they take advantage of us. And the next thing you know, it's all getting crazy. Crazy. And then I, get into screaming matches, like this.
You're a liar.
That's right. You're a liar.
Now, who's calling me a liar, you or the machine?
No, I am. I'm calling you a liar. I'm calling you out. That's right. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen next. It's going to be
round one.
That's right. And I'm going to mess you up.
Finish her.
That's right. We're going to
fight.
And then when I put you down, it'll be a
fatality.
And then everybody will say,
superb.
Yeah. Excellent stuff. I don't know why I have Mortal Kombat sound effects, but one of the best voiceovers in a game ever is just all those things.
Bloody, brutal, fatality.
Fatality was always great.
Excellent.
So anyway, there's
suicide.
Suicide. I guess it's because I haven't seen the new movie yet. I'll probably watch it this weekend and watch the new Mortal Kombat. It's been a while since I've seen a good kind of Mortal Kombat. I mean, to be honest with you, it's pretty much going to be, King Kong versus Godzilla with more fights. I don't know. I'm going to give it a fair shot. I'm joking that it's not going to have a plot, but and we're all just looking for the, someone pulling someone's head and spine out of someone's body. That's the way to do it, right?
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
I know. That would be a funny finishing move in Mortal Kombat, the View Askew version, where it'd be like, yo, what's this? Yo, what's that? And finish him.
What the fuck is the internet?
Yeah, you'd have that, or you'd have...
What the fuck are you bitches babbling about?
And especially if you've killed like 3 or 4 opponents
In a row?
in a row. Exactly. I think that'd be hilarious. So earlier this evening, I was on another show, the Zenoscope, the monthly Zenoscope movie club. Zenoscope Entertainment Publishing Company puts out comics and stuff. We did once a month, we do a classic kind of 80s, 90s movie, and we all talked about it. And tonight's episode was The Terminator, 1984's The Terminator. And it was a great conversation, because first of all, it's a great movie. The original Terminator, you can't go wrong. Classic lines like "I'll be back," "Are you Sarah Connor?" And many, many more. But it was nice to chat about that and talk about just a movie that was only made for $6.4 million. Arnold Schwarzenegger, James Cameron, Stan Winston designed the T-100. Michael Biehn and many, many more. Lance Henriksen, and the list goes on and on who's in that movie. And it started a whole franchise of amazing films. Now, I'm gonna to be completely upfront, I haven't seen the last one, which was I think Dark Fate. So I still need to see that. I think it's available on either Amazon or maybe, I don't know, Netflix, but I think it's available on Amazon. Bill Paxton. Yeah, Bill Paxton makes he's the punk rock guy in the original. So it was good. It was good to see that movie again, and good to discuss with our panelists, Marilyn Gigliotti, Sun Kumanaki, Crystal Starr, Ralph Tedesco, Chris Sampson, to just go through the whole list of fun stuff. And then we always rate the movies from 1 star to 5 stars. And that was my only, out of all we've done 7 now, that was like the first movie I gave a 5-star. And we did movies like Edward Scissorhands and a few others. So if you want to catch that episode, check it out after this show. Check out Zenoscope, Zenescope, on either Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube. It was a fun episode. We brought up some fun little facts about the movie too. How actually Arnold argued with James Cameron about that exact line, "I'll be back." Like, I think he said, "I will be back." Like, I think that's how James Cameron wrote it, "I will be back." And also, this is something that they brought up that I did not realize, is that Lance Henriksen was originally going to play the Terminator. And Cameron met with Arnold about Arnold Schwarzenegger playing Reese. Now tell me, that would be crazy. Personally, I don't care if Lance Henriksen was a robot. I would not believe visually. No offense to Lance. Lance is an awesome actor. But visually, some bulky, Arnold versus Lance in opposite roles, I would just be like, what? Visually, it just wouldn't make any sense. So I'm glad. Good to see you, Mr. Glenn Ferraro. How are you as well? Thank you for joining us. Jennifer Laybourne, good to see you as well. CJ Robles, good to see you, sir. Mr. Bertrand Wong. Yes, we meet this gentleman here. We did see it in theaters together, and we came out, quote, like all the lines, because that's what we did. I mean, it was 84. I was 14 when that movie came out. And it was a movie that just blew my mind. So much so that in high school, that Halloween, I had a black leather jacket, got liquid latex, covered up my one eye, got a LED, flashing little LED light, put it behind it, used makeup to flesh color the eye over, and then like do silver, like the skin had been peeled back with blood and stipple and stuff like that. And I went for the high school Halloween dressed as the Terminator. Obviously, a Terminator who wasn't a Mr. Universe, was barely a high school boy, for that matter. But I enjoyed it. There's pictures of it somewhere at my mother's house, I'm sure. They in the show asked, "Where's the photos?" I know. There is no photos that I have here. But that was a fun time. The gargoyle, yes. I had the gargoyle sunglasses. It's true. Very true. Yeah, Bishop was supposed to be the Terminator, and he heard you showed up at Bruce Communities and make him costume. Yep. So I have it still rolled up. Actually, I have an original Terminator poster that hung in my rec room at my mom's house, at our apartment. Plus, I also have original RoboCop poster too. Which it's so funny. I always forget to take it with me whenever I'm doing a Comic-Con and I see Peter Weller is going to be there. Who's a lovely man. I met him, funny enough, in Detroit at a Comic-Con. Absolutely wonderful guy. We talked about quite a few things, but I forgot to bring my RoboCop poster, which I think it was HBO or Stars. This past week had like literally RoboCop 1, 2, and 3 playing in a row at one point.
In a row?
Yes, in a row. They aired it in a row. And it was fun. That's another fun movie. And to be honest with you, I should tell the folks over at Zenoscope Movie Club that we should pick the first RoboCop, because RoboCop has dozens and dozens of quotable lines in it. There is nothing. Oh, I mean, keep on going talk about RoboCop. Just so funny. Clarence Boddicker and just so funny. Just so funny. RoboCop, that was the shit. Sadly, all their joking came true, right? Although we don't have we had one robotic cop join the robotic dog from Boston Dynamics was tested in the New York City Police Department a couple of months ago. They've since revoked the contract. They don't feel the robot dog is necessary in New York City. See, Bert's going to do this now. Bert's now going to start doing all lines. Does it hurt? Does it hurt? I mean, what's your favorite RoboCop? The original. I mean, don't get me wrong. The one with the nuke drug dealing with the little kid as the drug dealer. Don't get me wrong. Great. I like. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't hate the remake that they made. In 2012, I think it was, with Colin Farrell and quite a few of them. What's her name? The two women. I'm blanking on it. Anyway, I thought it was very well done. The CGI was great. Having Bryan Cranston in it as the villain was good. They had their own robots. So it was kind of like a mashup of Terminator with Total Recall. That was fun. I like that. Hated it. All right, well, there you go. What's up, Sean? Good to see you. Kate Beckinsale. Thank you. I thought that was a good one. Dick Jones. Dick Jones. Great name for a villain. Or when Clarence comes in and I forget the guy who was in the company who has the two ladies and he's partying with them and they're snorting coke and stuff. And he just walks in. He's like, bitches leave. Yo, you got to love that shit. Too funny. Too funny. There's just too many. If you haven't seen the original, first of all, if you haven't seen the original Terminator or the original RoboCop, what are you doing? You got to watch them. They're just too funny. And see, he knows it. Bitches leave. That cackle. There was the other actor who was in it. Let me bring up IMDb here because it was just too funny. Oh, and the commercials. This was another thing too about this movie. It was great. First of all, Verhoeven did a great job directing it, hands down. I love Verhoeven and what he did with that. But the actor who played, let me bring it up here. Well, yeah, you got Ray Wise in it. That's right. Ronnie Cox, once again, Dick Jones. Kurtwood Smith, hilarious as Clarence Boddicker. Yeah, Miguel Ferrer is Morton. So Miguel Ferrer is the one who plays Morton, who's gets killed, gets shot and blown up. You gotta love him. Robert Duque played the sergeant. Awesome character actor in tons of stuff. He went on to do, I think, like all three of them. Yeah, Joe Cox. Right. But his laugh, oh my God, Joe Cox, his laugh was just hilarious throughout the whole thing. And the commercials with the guy, oh, I'll buy that for $1. Too funny. Oh yeah, Paul McCrane as Emil. Paul McCrane as Emil was hilarious. He's the one who eventually drives into the toxic sludge at the steel mill, and he gets all covered in it, and his flesh is falling about him. He's like, hey, help me! And Ray Wise is like, get away from me, man! Oh, fun shit. Absolutely fun shit. Oh, yeah. Oh, you a college boy? Oh, too funny. Good stuff. So we talked about the Terminator today. If you get a chance to see the show, watch it. And they've come out, of course, every show we come out with their artwork of a cover done by Sun Kunamaki, which is a theme based on the theme of the movie. And she knocked it out of the park with the Terminator cover. So if you get a chance, check that out at zenoscope.com to see them as well. There's another one. Think you can outsmart a bullet? Oh, man. RoboCop was allegedly inspired by Marvel's robot superhero ROM. I'd believe it. That's a good little fact from Mr. David Madison. Thank you for joining us tonight. Get Zenoscope to do Big Trouble in Little China. I believe that has been discussed. I believe that is on our schedule. As of right now, our next show for discussion will be the 28th of May. Friday, 28th of May, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. West Coast time. And we're doing Flash Gordon. So keep on the lookout for Flash Gordon. Dun, 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 dun. Flash. I'll totally be bringing up the fact that, Flash Gordon was the quarterback for the Jets. So, and some other great quotable lines for that movie. The death to Ming. I hope you're talking about Ming the Merciless, not Ming Chen of Comic Book Men. Although there might be people out there be like, yeah, him too. Him too. So yeah, here's the one thing, to think that they made Terminator for $6.4 million in 1984, 83, 84. It was released in 84. And you think about how much they make movies for now. It's just like, wow. And you can see it. I mean, you can see that, there's quite a few car chases, quite a few explosions. That police station gets completely shot up. A lot of money was spent on I would say on the animatronics, and it's not the highest of quality. Although it is 1984. Stan Winston, though, one of the greats in the industry. And it made buttloads of money. So, Sam Jones, yes, Sam Jones is doing a signing at the comic shop near the end of the street today. Nice. Sam Jones, very nice guy. I've had dinner with him and breakfast actually with him a few times, and genuinely super nice guy. His son is in the minor leagues in baseball. I don't know if he has moved up yet, but his son is into baseball. We got to chat numerous times, and just a genuinely nice guy. I have a 11x17 poster of Flash signed by him, and the last show I was at with him was in Richmond, Virginia at GalaxyCon. There was that commercial for Geico, whatever it was, 2 years ago, that had him riding the Sky Cycle from Flash Gordon. And then after the commercial, they didn't know what they were going to do with it. So Sam Jones made a deal and said, hey man, let me buy that Sky Cycle off of you. And he did. Now he has, when he does cons, now he has the Sky Cycle at his booth, and they take photos with you at the cons, the bigger cons, I'm sure, who can afford to ship in a Sky Cycle. So if you ever get a chance to see Sam Jones, really great guy, in fantastic shape, by the way, who, if they were to do a remake of Flash Gordon, he could totally play like Flash Gordon slightly older. Like, the guy works out all the time. Like, he's in amazing shape. Like, crazy good shape. Hey, Gaming Grandma. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Liz Ellis, good to see you as well. Yeah, the dude doesn't age. Not at all. And it is. He's like, he actively watches what he eats. Like I said, I've had dinner with him and breakfast with him, and he's very conscious about what he eats, and he works out at the hotels that he stays in. Make sure that they put him into hotels that do have, gyms or at least a weight room. So I can totally see that. Scott Schaffa, good to see you, sir. Thank you for joining tonight. Yeah, super sweet. Was along for some of those cons dinners. That's right. And he was great in Ted 2. Hilarious. And then, to be honest with you, I think the Ted 2 movie is kind of what got the resurgence of like, holy shit, is that who I think it is? And good for him. Seriously, good for him. Because like, he's just a great guy. So I have there's a file somewhere of what what movies we have for the rest of this year planned out for the Zenoscope Movie Club. But Flash is next month. Mark your calendars. Friday, May 28th. I'll enjoy watching that again. I haven't seen it in a while. Good to see you, sir. Bazing back to you as well. Thank you for joining us. Just don't sit next to Lou Ferrigno. Well, I've had Lou next to me at times. Genuinely nice guy. Just don't get him angry. You wouldn't want to see him angry, Mr. McGee. That's an older Hulk joke. That's a way CBS TV series joke of the Hulk. But he's another guy who's in incredible shape. Very much so. So I'm hoping this coming month, so May is going to be very busy. For me, going to be rehearsals for Clerks 3, hopefully. And if not rehearsals, I'm putting myself into rehearsal mode for that whole month. Getting down the dialogue. Kevin's dialogue, as everybody knows, is very verbose. Very tongue-in-cheek, eclectic. So I'll be putting the nose to the grindstone, so to speak, even more so than I already have been. And hopefully we get that beginning of June. And I think I've been told 5 weeks of filming back at the original store. So look for us at the Quick Stop in Leonardo, New Jersey. Make your trip down there. You could also stop by the new location of the Jay and Silent Bob Secret Stash, where I'm sure Jay will be there as well, live streaming for his Twitch. That's the one thing he called me the other night last week, and he's like, "Yo, how come you haven't been live gaming on Twitch lately?" And I was like, "Because I've been busy." And he's like, "We got to do that when we're filming." I'm like, "All right, we will be filming, so I won't have much time to be gaming because I'll be filming." It's like, "Yeah, whatevs." Hell yeah, get that work. Trying. It's been delayed a few times, but hopefully it'll be worth the wait. Release time, hopefully the beginning of next year, I've been told. So that's the way to do it. On the set day to day, how do you keep into the continuity of the characters you play? That's a very good question. Most of the time when filming, you don't film in the order that the film is written. Usually there's location issues, or sometimes if there's a certain availability of some actors or only availability for 2 or 3 days, so you work with them and shoot those scenes first, or what they would say, shoot them out. You shoot them and then they're done and they're out. Which in this case, yes, is we will be shooting some well-known actors out in the beginning of it. So it's a matter of realizing where you are as the character, where it is in the emotional arc from the beginning of the story to the end of the story. Where would they be? So it's finding that arc in that moment of that scene to really capture it. This is going to be this one, I think, out of the other two Clerks, this one is more real, more meat and potatoes core of who Dante Randall and the other characters are. So it's funny, don't get me wrong, very funny, but more hitting home on a lot of points. So it should be fun. So there's going to be a lot more work with that one. So overnight shooting again, I don't know. I mean, in the movie, yeah, there are scenes at night, so there will be night scenes shot, absolutely. Overnights the whole time, don't ever want to do that again. Yes, Ryan, I am with you. I would love to bring the animated series back. Trust me, that's the job that I would love to do. And I've always joked with fans saying, look, when we physically become absolutely hideous to look at, we still have our voices, and I could still be like, Randall, what are you doing? You could do that without having to look actually at my face. So yes, would love to have that back. Thank you, Liz. Jane Silent Bob reboot was a fun time, and it was awesome. Clerks 3 in 3D. Eesh. Ooh. I'm already having reservations that we're shooting it in like 4 or 6 or 8K, wherever we're going to shoot in. That's a little too much detail. From going from, a 16 millimeter to then, we shot in HD for, 1080 HD for Clerks 2 to now 4 or 6. We don't need to be in that much resolution. This kind of fuzzy filter is just fine for us. Black and white, not going to give that one away. Black and white would be an option, of course. Good to see you, Super Bones. Hey, everybody. What do we have here? Is that who I think it is? It is Marilyn Gigliotti, everybody, from the original Clerks. Good to see her. Follow her along. There you go. Laser Clerks. There you go. That's for the space adventure. Have I ever done any other voiceover work? Yes, I have. I've done a couple of episodes of Pokemon, the TV show, and a couple of their films. And I've worked on another Friends animated short series that's being worked right now. These guys are the guys. If you've seen any of my earlier episodes, I had literally they were part of my 3rd or 4th show of the OHalloRANT, the guys from Mess Bucket Comics. Dominic is animating one of his 3-book series. Hang on. Here we go. So, and this is funny because I did the voiceover work early on in the lockdown. So Arcane Awakening comic book series from the good folks at Mess Bucket Comics. So it's a 3-book series, and they have me voicing one of the main characters for that. So if you go to messbucketcomics.com or their YouTube or Facebook pages, they show video segments of us recording voiceover stuff for them. So thank you for reminding me. I got to give them a call going, hey, what's going on with that? Do I know when Clerks filming 3 or more? So, hey, Rob, thank you for joining us. Yes, we will start filming Clerks 3 at the beginning of June. And then that'll take Kevin, the rest of the summer and fall to edit it, then to them to market it. We're looking for an early 2022 release. And then I think they want to do the same thing, kind of what they did with Reboot, which was do a road show. So we would be on the road doing screenings and then live Q&A afterwards. So hopefully we'll see you on the road in the 2022. And then sometime, I think shortly thereafter, I think his plan is the one to do a Mallrats 2. We shall see. Yes, sweet indeed. And that's right. Punk Rock Vox is on that project Arcane Awakening as well with me. So I'll have you on and we can talk about that as well. Yes, road show. And that's where I want to be, is on the road again. Trust me. You are the narrator, a reporter, and a Viking. Look at you, triple working it out. Good for you, sir. Just seen Wits End. You and Schiaffo and the other guys seem to have good rapport. Any chance we'd see the 3 of you in a movie again? Can't wait for Clerks 3. That was a film. Wits End is a film done by a good friend of mine called David Madison. He's also the filmmaker of a film called Mr. Hush. Yeah, it was a fun little segment of his film. that we did. And me and Scott have known each other for many, many years. And I've known David now for, I think, over now 10 years, if not longer. And so it was a lot of fun to do. And you never know if we could be probably in another film again. I know a lot of people have made that comment after watching that film. Jeff Anderson is signed on for 3. Yes. I thought he decided not to do it, or did he come around on it? He came around this time around. So the paperwork's been signed. All of the week before, I was taking health exams for the insurance for the film. So if it doesn't happen, that'd be weird, because I just had doctors look at me in all sorts of ways. So, yeah. So hopefully we get that done and get it out, and we'll see what happens. Hells yes. Can't wait to see you guys together on screen again. Same here, sir. Can't wait to see it as well. Woohoo. Indeed. Gem Girl 1975. So, with all that being said, I'm looking forward to, this coming month, and then the summer, and before we know it, it'll be summer, it'll be over. And that's the funny thing, is we'll be working this summer. Next thing you know, it'll be the middle of July, and then I'll be like, all right. And now I know I have a couple of Comic-Cons lined up for the end of summer and into the fall. So trust me, I'm going to be glad to be back on the road again, talking about what I'm allowed to talk about of how the Clerks 3 film went. And then we go from there. And then we'll get to see. So hopefully I'll be able to start putting out information on shows that I'll be doing. There is one. Yeah. So there is one. There's this one here. There's this one called the Geek Boat. So if you want to go on a cruise in February, sailing out of Miami for a couple of days, go to Key West and then Cozumel. We have gaming, cosplay, celebrity meet and greets and panels, 2 cocktail parties, cosplay competition with cash prizes, poker pub crawl with cash prizes, and vendor cabin crawl, which the poker pub crawl, to be honest with you, is what I'm looking forward to doing. And as of right now, we got myself, Jeff Anderson, Alex Vincent, Lee Arenberg, and there's more and more joining on. So that's going to be February. It's literally the end of February, beginning. Also, Cooper Andrews, Martin Kleba, Kevin McNally. So if you get a chance, and it's 303 days away, so you have time to save up. For more information, you want to go to thegeekboat.com. Have some fun. There'll be a boat ride. You got cocktail parties. Karaoke's going to happen. And then a poker pub crawl. Playing poker while drinking. It's the best way to win. Just saying. So take a look at it, thegeekboat.com. You have until next February. Right now, though, if you book your rooms now, there is a discount rate for the rooms now. So if you get a chance, yeah. So here we go. Let me bring this share back again. So here are the prices as of right now. You got interior for $632, ocean view $667, balcony for $757. And then you add $200 for the convention fee. There you go. So try to get your cabin reserved now. Should be a blast. I made fan art of Clark's cartoon. Good cartoon like. I also like Duckman and The Critic, even South Park and Adult Swim shows. Yeah, I loved The Critic. I have that whole that was another series that was completely short-lived. I have that whole series on DVD and watch that from time to time. Is the shooting of Clerks 3 finished? We haven't even started, sir. Phil, we're going to get it next month. I guarantee you we'll start going. Are you going to be any of the cons in or close to Jersey? Not at the moment. There's one that's floating right now in May that may happen. But once I get more of a confirmation, I will announce that. Jeff's doing it. I barely see him doing cons. It's so funny you should say that, Retro Jimbo. Jeff and I, in the beginning of 2020, we had just started. He had just agreed to start doing conventions. We did Astronomicon 3 in the Detroit area. And then we did GalaxyCon Richmond towards the beginning of March. And then that's when everything started to shut down. We were booked for a good 7 to 10 cons all of 2020. Which would have led obviously into 2021. And, COVID happened and it all pooped in the bed, so to speak. So we'll see it. Hey, it's Crystal Star X, everybody. Good to see you. One of my co-panelists from the Zenoscope movie club. If you ever get a chance, please follow her on Twitch. She does amazing stuff. She was also on the Lego Masters brick building show. So she's also a cosplayer. Amazing to see you, Crystal. Thank you for joining me this evening. Does SAG get part of the pay of each role project you're casting or just monthly dues? No, there is a percentage of they take it out of the year. They don't take out of what you work on per check. They take it out of the whole year. So if you make millions and millions of dollars, not me, but if you make millions and millions of dollars, there is a percentage that's scalable. It's kind of like the tax rate that goes to the union. And that's what keeps the union moving. Do you have to practice yelling, Randall, or does it just come naturally at this point? Yelling at Randall is incredibly natural at this point. It's a heavy favorite for Kevin to write that in the script. Randall? What the hell, Randall? Because Porch Monkey is a what is it again? Is a racial slur too. Just stuff like that. So it's all the time coming like that. Lego Master Season 2 is in June. There you go. We have a fan. Well, you want to follow Crystal Star then, because she's keeping up on it too. She's a massive brick builder. Have you ever visited New Jay and Silent Bob? Yes, I did. The night of the day of the soft opening, that evening, I went in to actually make the "I assure you we're open" banner is now hanging inside the store. They have actually the storefront of the Quick Stop built in the back of the store. And the actual banner was put together by myself and a few other people. So beautiful, lovely space, huge space. I'm glad that they were able to utilize it. And what's great about that back space is it's big enough now for appearances and signings and a whole bunch of stuff. So I highly recommend visiting it myself to people. What's up, Nelif? Nelif123, good to see you as well. Just missed us there. That's Mr. Scott Hoverman, owner of 3 Alarm Comics in Biloxi, Mississippi. Yes, he was up there at the time, and we had just missed each other. Well, it's shoe polish, of course, sir. It's got to be authentic. If anybody has followed any of the building of the Secret Stash videos on YouTube with Ernie O'Donnell, we did a short video segment showing me making the sign where, I'm literally using, well, now it's like the squeeze bottle on the tip. It's now all built in. It's no longer that can of polish and a rag, which the old one was. I love the new pew and looking forward to poker. Yes. The pew inside, that was all Ernie O'Donnell's idea, putting the pew in front of the Buddy Christ. And yes, poker in there now. We have room to play poker in there. So I look forward to when that starts up again. So speaking of that scene, do you think in today's climate that Clerks 2 would have been filmed? No, I think it totally would be filmed and completely kept the same. I mean, it's a discussion about race. There should be no problem about that scene in Clerks 2. As a matter of fact, a lot of African-American fans come up to me and be like, yo, that scene, hilarious. Because at first, when they say, hey, man, you know that porch monkey scene? I'm like, oh, fuck, here's when I get punched in the face. They're like, nah, I get it, man. You address the whole issue and pointed out to Randall how racist that is and how racist his grandmother was. So in a way, it's a dialogue, if anything. So I totally think we would be fine today. Mike is doing a great job with the stash. Yes, Mike Zapsik is doing a great job with the stash. It's a nice, new, invigorating kind of feel when you have a new place to work. So there you go. See, Ryan saw it. I did. I saw you make the sign. Witnessed. Testify. There we go. Favorite TV show. Are you asking me my favorite TV show or talking about the cartoon as it being the favorite TV show? Because the cartoon series is definitely one. What's up, Mr. Lamb? Good to see you as well. Thank you for joining us. How's the kitty? Kitty's good? It's weird. It's just weird that I hear how the kitty. Our cat, Rocky, has a cold, has some sort of like chest cold. So we thought it was just allergies because pollen is crazy. If anybody who's living in the Northeast has allergies, you're totally feeling it right now, I'm sure, with all these trees blowing loads all over us. I always say that, you know, thank God pollen is just powdery. Could you imagine if trees were like humans pollinating? Trying to wash your car off of that. Gross. That's gross, Brian. But I jokingly say that about people with allergies. I'm like, well, yeah. Trees are just blowing loads everywhere. Of course you're going to be sneezing. That's disgusting, Brian. Why would you even talk about that? Because it's funny. That's all. So anyway, Rocky had been sneezing a while. We thought it was just going to be allergies, but no, Rocky was like getting chest congestion. So, Rocky's my 3-legged cat, and also has a minor enlarged heart. So we give him atenolol, which is a pill just to slow the beating of his heart slightly so that it doesn't enlarge. And he's been fine for years and stuff like that. But we had to take him into the vet, and the vets are packed for some reason. So we found an opening where the vet said, hey, call first thing in the morning. If we have a cancellation, we'll bring you right in. And Diane got up, thankfully, super early and called at like 7 in the morning and said, hey, is there an opening? And they were like, yep. And so we got him in. So he's on a 2-week regimen of antibiotic right now. And he's doing well. So thank you for asking how the kitty is, if that's who you're asking. The one who was heckling me earlier in the show, Cassie, she's fine. All the other cats are fine. So Cassie just likes to announce herself sometimes when she comes into a room. Tim Daddy, a grand opening was great. Kevin interviewed my friend about Clerks poster with all the people he had signed the poster. It was on Wake and Bake. There you go. You got to love the Wake and Bake with Kevin. I saw Clerks 2 in a theater with a black friend, and he was not happy. Ooh, sorry about that. It was super uncomfortable. I thought it was hilarious as I got the point that Randall was naive. Yeah. Wow, I'm sorry about your friend. If your friend, wants to punch Jeff in the face, by all means. I'm just kidding. Sorry he was offended. It wasn't meant to be in that case. You see it as the way we're trying to explain it, so it is what it is. Do you know who Pete is that Jay refers to in Dogma? No, I don't. Donnie Cannabis. I do not know who this Pete is that he refers to. Clark's, who was actually my wife and I's second date, and she's not exactly a Kevin fan. All right. And you guys are still together, so there you go. So, which is funny that he wrote Clark's, because in England, they say that a lot, like, oh, I loved your movie Clark's. It was really, really funny, even though it is Clerks, but there it's Clark's. Also a good shoe company, if you're looking for high-end kind of dress shoes. Clark's, good brand. And yes, the Clark bar. That's right. As a matter of fact, I think the K in the original logo of Clerks is from a Clark bar on the poster, I think. Not sure. I know the Clark bar was used in either the C or the K, maybe even the L in Clerks. I don't know, but I know a Clark bar was used. Interesting kind of how they put that all together for the marketing of Clerks. So, all right, well, it's past the 10 o'clock hour here in the wonderful East Coast. And I just want to say, hey, man, thank you guys so much for joining me. See, Ryan knows I'm talking about. Used to wear Clarks. Yes, they were very comfortable. They were good for going to school. Like if you had a dress code in school, they were good. They were like the adult version of Buster Brown's. I think somehow I saw Clerks 2 first because Blockbuster didn't have Clerks. All right, Sarah Jane. Then you went back and watched it, of course. I know later Kevin named his character in Hollywood Pete. That's right. That's 10 here in Ontario, Canada. That's crazy. Weird, isn't it? Title Clerks and the Clerks. New Post made out of letters cut from various magazine food items. The C from Cosmopolitan magazine. The L is from Life. The E is from Rolling Stone. The R is from Ruffles. The K is from the Clark bar. There you go. And the S from a Goober's box. Thank you, Mr. Fruschetti. Mr. Fruschetti on it. Boom. You are faster than a Google. Well, hey, folks. Thank you guys so much for taking an hour of your time to join me again on this Friday evening. Please follow along at the addresses above: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Also on YouTube, you can see the addresses scrolling across as well. Tell your friends to join, subscribe, follow, like. I appreciate that. There'll be a lot more interesting broadcasts coming in the next couple of months as we endeavor to take on Clerks 3. I have a couple of people from that on, I'm sure. Want to thank everybody for watching here. Thank you guys so much. Libby McDermott's good to see you as well. Thank you for joining us. Hang on here. Just do this one. Ooh, better yet. We were talking about this last week. This riff is the best riff. Just have this playing in the background. Anyway. Just want to give a shout out to Dave Madison, Scott Schiaffo also for joining us, Marilyn Gigliotti. Thank you so much for joining us. Gem Girl 1975, Tim Daddio, Punk Rock Vox, good to see you as well. Thank you so much. People, stay out there, stay safe, socially distanced, wear your mask. Not everybody has been inoculated yet. Mr. Christopher Hewitt, good to see you as well. Tim Daddio, Danger Girl AC, Sarah Jane, Mark Lamb, Wookie and Thal, Scott Hoverman down there at 3 Alarm Comics in Biloxi, Mississippi. Check him out. Ryan Carryware, good to see you as well. PJ Holland, Neil F, 123, Aling Judich, and many more. Rob Collects, Retro Jimbo, Donnie Cannabis, Jason Mack, Cosmic Ray Wizard, Crystal Star X. Thank you, honey, for so much for following the show and chiming in. And many more. Blasted Quinn. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully, cheers to all of you. Definitely have one on me. Hopefully, people will get out some good weather this weekend. Do what you can. If you have the opportunity to get your vaccine, get it. Get it, get it, get it. By the way, they will not call you to ask how the vaccine was for you. That's a scam. We talked about this in the first half of our show about telemarketing and scams. Don't be falling for it. Don't be falling for it. If you want to join us, though, this is no scam. This is a legit thing. If you want to join us on a ship from Miami down to Cozumel with a stop in Key West, thegeekboat.com. The Geek Boat, February. It's towards the end of February, beginning of March of 2021. Hey, man, maybe we'll have a screening of Clerks 3 on it. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. It's all in the future. But in any event, I will be there. Come on out for that. Should be fun. All right? Take care of each other. And once again, if you see some shit going down that doesn't look right, call the authorities. And but I mean, like, assaults on Asian Americans still happening. People are still just doing dumb, fucking foolish shit. So, if you can, man, love one another. That's the only way we're going to get out of this. Love one another. There's no, I'm an American, you're not an American. We're all Americans here. We're all human beings when it comes down to it. So peace and love. We'll see you next time here on the O'HalloRANT. Yeah. Oh, yeah.